When the 458 was released in 2010, I was blown away. It was the most beautiful modern-day supercar I had ever seen. And the crazy part is, fast forward 7 years till today, and it still looks incredible. But first, I'm doing another giveaway. I think you guys are gonna love this. All you have to do to enter to win the giveaway is be subscribed to Vehicle Virgins. If you're already subscribed, then boom, you're done. Hit the little bell notification logo and follow Vehicle Virgins on Instagram. That's it. First prize wins a brand new GoPro Hero 5 Black. Not this one unless you want a used one for some reason. But a Hero 5 Black with a suction mount and an SD card. So you can jumpstart your automotive career on YouTube and make videos. It's become my career now. It is so much fun. This is a handy tool. Second prize wins a Manfrotto tripod. Manfrotto is known basically as the Ferrari of tripods, so you know it's gonna be awesome. And third prize, you win 2 Vehicle Virgins t-shirts of your choice. I'm wearing one right now. There's some other options online, and 5 Vehicle Virgins stickers. I'm super excited about these prizes, guys, so all you have to do, follow Vehicle Virgins on Instagram at Vehicle Virgins, subscribe to Vehicle Virgins, and hit that notification bell. Let's get going. While the rear of the Ferrari 430 still remains my favorite, the overall stance of the 458, the razor-sharp LED headlights, and the swooping side profile are undeniably beautiful, and I can't help but want one. Now let me get something clear right away. I do not hate Ferrari. In fact, I absolutely love the cars they make. I just have some disagreements with managerial decisions like forcing customers to buy a Ferrari California in order to get a 488, and bringing 2 different cars to a magazine test, one that's tuned for straight line speed and another that's better around corners. Doesn't make sense to me, but that's all right because they still make brilliant cars. One thing is completely undeniable. That V8 behind me sounds magnificent. We've got a 4.5-liter V8, 458, that makes 562 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque. That is mated to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic that is the only transmission of choice for the 458. That means that cars like a manual 430 Spider and a 599 GTB with a manual are going up in value immensely. That's okay though, because the automatic transmission is so sweet. Shifts are razor sharp. You can control the shift speed as well as throttle response and suspension settings via a knob on the steering wheel. We've got a ton of controls on the steering wheel. It's called Manatino, which simply means little lever in Italian. We've got wet mode for inclement weather, sport mode, race mode, and 2 other modes that make it very dangerous to drive. So we won't leave it there. We'll put it in race mode for now. The steering wheel is unique, but it gives some advantages over having buttons located elsewhere. We've got the turning indicators on the steering wheel. That means instead of having large stalks behind it, we can have paddles, large paddles, mounted on the steering column. I do wish that they were mounted on the wheel itself, the paddles that is, but I'll live with it. On the left, we've got a button for suspension settings. We can choose between bumpy road setting and normal, which means it's very, very firm. It's funny how Ferrari doesn't have comfort or sport for the settings. It's either Ferrari or bumpy road, because why would you be driving in anything other than full race mode? This car has magneto-eological dampers, that word is so damn hard to say, which means it can be controlled via the computer or the click of a button with your thumb. It still rides pretty harsh even in bumpy road mode, but you could drive this car on pretty much a daily basis. More towards the daily basis driving, there is so much space in the 458. Because it's rear-wheel drive, we've got an enormous amount of trunk space. I mean, I could fit my tripod, my slider, a Ronin Steadicam, backpack, camera gear, everything in the front of this, and that can't be said about a lot of Porsches, let alone a supercar like a Ferrari. We've also got some extra space behind the seats here that's often Not the case when we have a hardtop convertible. So this is referred to as the Spider, an Italian word that has, well, a confusing origin, so I'm not going to start any rumors here. But essentially, it is a hardtop convertible. The top is made of aluminum and it can retract in just 14 seconds. The crazy part is the aluminum hardtop is actually 55 pounds lighter than the previous generation 458 soft top. How cool is that? The overall mechanism only adds 110 pounds of weight compared to the coupe. We do lose 30% rigidity, although it's really hard to tell the difference. My favorite aspect of the 458 is probably the sound. That flat plane crank V8, oh my god, it sounds like nothing else on this planet. It's piercing, it's throaty, it just, well, why don't you listen to it for yourselves? We've even got a window switch here in the center to give us a little bit more access to the engine if you want the top up. How can you not love that? You might be thinking, flat plane crank V8, that sounds familiar. Well, the Shelby GT350 has one, so why doesn't it sound like a 458? Well, part of the reason is due to the fact that the Shelby has unequal length headers. They had to do that for emissions reasons. Actually, in testing, they tried it out with equal length headers. The engineers loved it, but it didn't make emission standards on startup. That smooth characteristic of the V8 that you hear in the 458 is due to the 458's equal length headers. They should come out with an aftermarket option. There may already be, I don't know, for the Shelby that makes it sound more like a 458. Might be a little sacrilegious though. Not bad on the turning radius. All right, let's switch it into manual mode by clicking the paddles. Put it in race, shall we? All right, get out of automatic mode. Oh, car revs up to its 9,000 RPM red line so quickly and mashes you back into your seat at really any RPM. Because it's mid-engine, despite being rear-wheel drive, we still have plenty of grip on those rear wheels. They're actually pretty staggering. The crazy part, the steering, just 2 turns lock to lock, means it is crazy quick. You just need the slightest inputs in the steering wheel to make it around aggressive tight radius turns, and that makes it such a joy to drive. I can honestly say that the 458 may be the best car I've ever driven. Those paddles are so responsive, and oh, the brakes are as well. Couple gripes I have with it. I'm going to describe those in the 5 things I hate about the 458 video, so we'll leave those out. Oh, we got a twisty road coming up ahead. That means only one thing: fun. I actually can't get over how much fun the 458 is to drive. And just the little nuances of the exhaust note, little quirks that it has that you can make it do on repeat, that sounds so pleasing, it's unbelievable. So for instance, let's put it in second gear here. The slightest tap on the throttle, hear that? It opens up the valves. Oh, it sounds so good. Oh, and just the downshifts. I swear I could probably make an entire review of nothing but me reacting to the noises the 458 makes. It might be a little creepy though, so we won't do that. I love this thing. Oh, we're at a stop sign here. 0 to 60 happens in 3.3 seconds. That's ridiculous for a rear-wheel drive car. I love it. Brake feel is awesome. Of course, we've got carbon ceramic brakes. I believe 398 millimeters in the front and 360 in the rear. Plenty of stopping power. The visibility is actually very impressive in the 458. Much better than almost any supercar, really. The hood slopes down quickly so you can see the road in front of you very, very easily. You've got the two humps for the wheel arches that look like an arrow pointed right where you want to go. Over your shoulder, because of this rear window here and the way the B-pillar works, you have great visibility. You've also got tremendous visibility out of the rear as well. I'm really impressed with how easy this car is to manage. Put it in automatic mode, bumpy road mode, anybody could drive this, I'm being honest. Oh, would you look at that, a tunnel. In front of me is a center-mounted tachometer. You've got the red line, 9,000 RPMs, and your gear. Nothing else. No speed whatsoever. It's almost hilarious how small the indication of how fast you're going is. Over to the left, we've got this tiny little thing that says I'm going 40 miles an hour, but you're in a Ferrari, so who really cares? You can get an optional steering wheel, which I highly recommend, that has indicator lights to tell you when to shift. It looks much cooler, got carbon fiber accents. Oh man, is that a nice touch. Let's retract the roof, shall we? We can't do it when we're in motion, which is a little bit disappointing, but let me show you how fast 14 seconds is. So let's hold the roof down button. Looks pretty cool when it's folding. All right. And it's done. Now we have a convertible. When you have the top down, you can hear the exhaust much better. For a stock car, it's insane how loud the exhaust in the 458 is. Oh my God. That's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. There's no central screen. We've got two LCD displays to the left and the right of the tachometer. Right now, it's telling me I'm in race mode, how much gas I have on the left, and I've also set it to a pseudo speedometer that's also really small and pretty much impossible to see what's going on. On the right, it's got radio settings, although I really would almost never listen to the radio because the engine sounds so good. That being said, the speaker system's actually not bad. Interior-wise, the car is very comfortable to be in, although I did say that the suspension is kind of firm. These leather seats with the cross pattern and the holes in them hold up extremely well over miles. Same with the 360 and the 430. Much better than Lamborghini's leather holds up. Very comfortable. These are actually kind of wide, so if you're a bigger person, you could fit in this no problem. Ferraris are known for having quite a bit of space in them. If you're 6'6", you could drive this 458. Well, there you have it. I've been absolutely blown away by the 458. I think, honestly, this is the best car I've ever driven in terms of noise, handling, appearance, and just how fun it is to drive. Because of that two-turn lock-to-lock steering rack, it's so nimble. It feels so light on its feet. Of course, it is light. That any direction you want it to go, the Ferrari can move that way quicker than your mind can. It's just staggering how great this is. I can't even imagine what driving something like a 458 Special is like. Improving this, I mean, in that car, we've got 40% quicker downshifts, 20% quicker upshifts. It's obviously lighter, more power, sounds better, looks better, but whew. You can find yourself some 458s now. Not a 2013 Spider like this, but a 2010 for under $200,000 with not that many miles on it, and that's becoming a hell of a good deal. Well, with that, I hope you enjoyed this review. I love the 458 Spider. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.